My work is a way of expressing the human struggle and day-to-day life. I mean, it's really bad in Southern Ohio. It's all over the state. It's everywhere. I saw the impact it had on people I admired and loved and respected. I was always into art. And when I turned, 19, 20 is when I started honing and developing my current style, the street art graffiti influence work. I never thought in a million years that I would show in LA, San Diego, be represented in Manhattan.
I feel that I can put all my feelings and into my art, and I hope they come through. That's the best compliment I could get when somebody looks at a piece of my art, to say that it moved them, whether it's what I was feeling when I painted it or what, but just that it moved them in some way. That's like the best compliment you could ever get. And I heard they were having a exhibit that dealt with addiction and recovery and how that coincides with art. And I truly was excited about that because my daughter has been clean for 6 years, so I've went through this journey quite a while ago, but it's a journey you always go through. But I've always had this picture in my head that I wanted to express on canvas of her lowest point, and it turned out being the night before she went into rehab, and she was beginning to withdraw, which was very scary to her and us because we weren't going to give her any drugs. And that's what made me do the picture I did, Surrender. That's where I got all my inspiration from.
They were using the monarch, which is the butterfly, and I thought, oh, I could use a monarch. And the chrysalis would be a pill bottle, the emergence of a beautiful creature from the depths of darkness. You know, when you do art, you're trying to express yourself or an idea that you have. And for me, it was trying to express the fact that there's hope.
Art helps with everything, not just addiction, because when you concentrate on something completely, it's innately pleasurable. I mean, when you're dealing with an addle-brained person or someone who's high all the time, it's a wall between you and them. I mean, you end up talking to that wall instead of the person. In ancient Greek hell, there were, I think, 5 rivers, and one of them was the river Lethe. I hope I'm saying that right. But the river Lethe evidently wound around the Greek version of heaven, which was the Isle of Elysium, or the Elysian Fields. So this river of forgetfulness sort of goes around this, like, I guess their version of heaven, and then goes on its way through their underworld. But the river, this forgetfulness, I guess my point is that it bumps up against this idea of pure pleasure. What the opioids did was they took away her pain. You know, morphine takes away your pain, and then pain-free is heaven. But it doesn't take you any further than that. It just takes you to no pain. It doesn't really take you to heaven. And it doesn't really take you to that island in the middle, like the Elysian Fields. It just winds your way through more hellish realms. Or maybe just people trying to grapple with the human condition, which is innately scary.
And it's like many things where, you know, if it's not directly visible, most people don't consider it or they blow it off. But it's something that pervades our culture. You know, we all do our part to help the world in our own way. But in many cases, you know, that kind of can go off the rails. And while many people try to say, well, what are we going to do about this? You know, it seems to me that the time of asking what to do has long passed. Even though it's affecting all of us, unless it's literally a river on fire, most people just kind of shrug their shoulders and move on with their day. And as an artist, I'm really trying to make the statement of, you know, these are things that we can fix. This isn't how the world has to be. Really, I hope that this is going to be more addressed by our society. And, you know, sometimes the best way to express that's through artwork or outreach into the public.
And a show like this really helped kind of inspire confidence. Yeah, I used to think I couldn't be creative without alcohol. I mean, my addiction was alcohol. There is such a stigma. Even within recovery, in the rooms there, in the meetings, it's getting better. There used to be the whole, drug addiction and then alcohol, and they were sort of separate parties. And some of the old timers are still, like, oh, it's not about drugs, it's about drinking. And that's going away from what I've seen. It's not something to be ashamed of. And it's something that can be fixed.